On the news tonight, INEC tasked political parties on peaceful campaign. Governor Etola urged Nigerians to keep hope alive. Côte d'Ivoire set to withdraw troops from UN peacekeeping mission in Mali. Good evening and welcome to the Major Report. I am Kayode Adebayo. The Osun Governorship Election Petition Tribunal has adjourned further sitting till Monday to allow first and second petitioners file an application to subpoena INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner in the state to appear before the tribunal. In its ruling, the tribunal chairman, Sese Akume, agreed with the petitioners that they have not violated the tribunal and Electoral Act processes in requesting for further adjournment. Adeyemi Aboderi has the details.
At the resumed sitting of the Osun Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, counsel to the first and second petitioners, Governor Adegboyega Oyetola and the All Progressive Congress, Dr. Abiodun Layonu, SAN, had informed the tribunal of an application to subpoena INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner in the state to appear before the tribunal to tender some document relating to the petition before it. According to Dr. Layonu, they are constrained to serve the first respondent, INEC, the necessary application to subpoena INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner to the tribunal and requested for the adjournment of further sitting of the tribunal till Monday. This did not go down well with counsels to the first, second, and third respondent, Professor Paul Ananaba, SAN, Mr. Niyi Owolade, and Nathaniel Oke, SAN, who described the application for the adjournment as abuse of tribunal processes and the Electoral Act as amended, and therefore prayed the tribunal to dismiss the petition in its entirety. According to them, the petitioners seemed not diligent with their intention to continue to pursue the petition, while the application to subpoena INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner has no relevance with the petition before the tribunal. However, Dr. Abiodun Layonu, SAN, countered their submission, saying they have not run foul of the electoral law and the order of the tribunal, and so prayed the tribunal to discountenance objections of respondents to the request. In his ruling, chairman of the tribunal, Justice Tasikume, agreed with the prayers of the petitioners and adjourned for the sitting till Monday. Speaking with Osbc News shortly after the sitting, counsels to the first and second petitioners, Dr. Abiodun Layonu, SAN, and the first and third respondents, Professor Paul Ananaba, SAN, and Nathaniel Oke, SAN, aligned with the tribunal ruling and expressed their readiness to meet at the next adjourned date.
What really happened was that we filed subpoena, and that subpoena was not signed until 5 p.m. yesterday. And INEC would have closed their offices yesterday by the time the subpoena was filed. Hence, I was telling the court that the subpoena we filed before the court had not been served, and we hear the chairman stating that he came by 5 p.m. and it was then that he signed the subpoena. So that was the cause of our adjournment, was to bring a daily case CV to court.
The situation is normal. It's a litigation, it's an election petition, and it goes high, it goes low. We understand what we are doing. The tribunal understands, and in the best practice of the bar, tradition at the bar, we have conducted the proceedings today, and we have agreed to continue on Monday.
Surprisingly, when we came to the tribunal this morning, we just discovered that instead of wanting to go on with their case, they are now talking that they want a subpoena issued against the REC, Resident Electoral Commissioner, for the purpose of bringing certain documents to the tribunal. And we said you cannot do that. If you had intended to do that, you should have given us advance notice that the witness you want to call this morning is the Resident Electoral Commissioner, but you did not do that. We could not proceed to further trial this morning because the subpoena has not been served on the respondents in respect of this matter to know.
Record that the tribunal had resumed today after about 2 weeks of adjournment due to official engagement of the chairman of the tribunal, Adeyemi Abodeni. Osbc News.
Barely 100 days to the conduct of the 2023 general elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission has tasked political parties and their candidates to conduct their campaigns peacefully, eschewing divisiveness, rancor, and violence. Chairman of the Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, gave the charge in a statement he personally signed in Abuja. Yakubu, who maintained that the Commission will not succumb to pressures to drop the bimodal voter accreditation system and the INEC result viewing portal, said the deployment of modern technology will promote free, fair, credible, and verifiable elections. He also appealed to eligible voters to participate in the ongoing display of the register of voters for claims and objections, as well as collection of permanent voter cards. According to him, a lot of work still lies ahead, noting that elections are getting better and citizens' confidence in the process is increasing, adding that the Commission's allegiance is to Nigeria and Nigerians who want free, fair, credible, and verifiable elections supported by technology. He said the Commission will continue with regular engagement with political parties, civil society organizations, the media, and other critical stakeholders. The resident electoral commissioner of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Osun State, Dr. Mutiu Agboke, has reassured that the outcome of 2023 elections will be determined by people's vote. Dr. Agboke, who stated this during an interview shortly after featuring on an Osbc current affairs program, The Nation Today, against the backdrop of the recent and continuous technological improvement in the electioneering process. He further said that the Commission remains independent and neutral, as it will provide a level playing ground for all political parties and candidates in accordance with the electoral laws. Dr. Agboke said the Commission has begun a series of sensitization programs and consultations to major stakeholders in order to ensure that the general election is each free, smooth, and credible. He speaks further.
INEC office in Nigeria, the Commission will rise up stronger and build another facility. So who is losing? We are wasting taxpayers' money. So my appeal now to Nigerians is that, number one, our parents, they should want their words. You cannot use violence, the politician cannot use violence to get that advantage, over the other again. Even on election day, orchestrate violence, INEC will apply the rules. So go there. If you want to make yourself popular, go and start popularizing yourself, if you allow me. Go and start selling yourself to people.
Governor Adegboyega Oyetola has urged Nigerians to keep hope alive, saying the country will surmount numerous challenges. Governor Oyetola stated this at the Osun State Convention 2022, organized by a group, Nigeria for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Oluchi Amuda completes the story.
2022 put together by the Nigeria for Bola Ahmed Tinubu BAT group attracted leaders as well as members of the All Progressives Congress APC from the unit and ward levels in Osun State and beyond, who converged on the Local Government Service Commission State Secretariat to strategize on how to ensure that the presidential ambition of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu becomes a reality. Addressing newsmen at the gathering, Osun State Governor Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola described the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, as the right man for the job. The governor, who was represented by the Special Advisor on Political Matters, Oluomo Sunday Akere, called on Nigerians not to lose hope in the country, adding that the future will be brighter.
Nigerians, we should not lose hope on this nation. What we are doing today is renewing the hope, believing that come February next year, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president will bring a renewed hope to Nigeria, security, economy, power, employment, education, agriculture, infrastructure development.
In their separate remarks, other speakers at the event, including engineer Benjamin Adereti, Mr. Olufemi Adedeji, among others, noted that the motive behind the event was to reinstate in the minds of Nigerians that the time has come for the people to elect credible leaders that will take the country to the promised land.
The time has come for us in Nigeria to elect leaders that are capable to lead us aright.
Support the right candidate, follow the man that knows the road, and right now we all know who the man that knows the road is, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Nigeria for bad is different because we are focusing on the grassroots.
The speakers added that since the election is local, the Nigeria for Bad group is focusing on harnessing the multitude of voters at the grassroots to ensure victory for the party in next year's presidential election. Oluchi Amuda.
Governor Adegboyega Oyetola has identified infrastructural development as an effective means through which the socio-economic transformation of society can be realized. Governor Oyetola stated this during the commissioning of Bola Babalakin Guest House at Fountain University, Osogbo. Sanya Onorinde has the details.
Speaking at the official commissioning of Bola Babalakin Guest House, Fountain University, Osogbo, the state capital, Governor Adegboyega Oyetola said that the state government is particularly delighted in identifying with the success story of Fountain University in terms of impactful research, optimal education performance, stressing that the government will continue to partner with the university in improving the standard of learning as well as infrastructural developments. Governor Oyetola maintained that his administration remains focused on delivering on good governance as well as infrastructural developments for the overall welfare of the citizenry across the state.
As a government, engagement in meaningful infrastructure and economic endeavors to achieve the economic transformation and equitable development of our major towns and villages is our irrevocable resolve. We shall continue to embark on these initiatives in line with our development agenda, the challenges or resources notwithstanding.
In their separate remarks, the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Said Abubakar, the donors representative, Dr. Wale Babalakin, the Vice Chancellor of Fountain University, Professor Hamidu Sani, Professor Isiaq Oloyede, as well as Malam Yusuf Ali, implored Nigerians to see themselves as one big family engaging in benevolence, philanthropy towards human and physical developments that are beneficial to mankind and rewardable by their maker. High point of the occasion was the commissioning of Bola Babalakin Guest House. Dignitaries present at the occasion include the Deputy Governor, Mr. Benedict Alabi, the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Right Honorable Timothy Oweye, Asiwaju Muslimi of Yoruba Land, Alhaji Babatunde Badmus, among others. From the Governor's Office, Sanya Onoride reporting.
The United States Consulate General in Lagos, Mr. Will Stevens, has pledged the U.S. government commitment to restore the Osun-Osogbo group affected by the climate change. Mr. Stevens made the announcement at a stakeholder meeting with custodians of Osun-Osogbo group. Oluwatobiloba Odunuga has the details.
Speaking at the 3D presentation of Osun-Osogbo Grove, otherwise known as Bosoyin, a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Nigeria, the United States Consulate General Lagos, Mr. Will Stevens, said the preservation of cultural heritage affected by climate change remains the top priority of the U.S. government in collaboration with the federal government of Nigeria. He reiterated that the government of the United States of America is working together with the Nigerian government to resolve the climate change problem. Mr. Stevens stated further that all the structures in the whole shrine would be modernized and refurbished, and the process would not affect the existing structure.
It's a shrine that's been destroyed by the effects of climate change. Severe flooding has significantly damaged the shrine and made it quite dangerous for people to visit. This is a sacred place for the Yoruba people, and we're so glad that our Ambassadors Fund could help support the likely restoration and preservation of this important cultural heritage site. We are committed to working together to help preserve culture around the world and to work to solve problems like climate change, because only together can we solve those global problems.
Also speaking, custodian of the shrine at Taoja of Oshogbo, Oba Ajimo Olanipekun Laraye II, who was represented by Queen Adedoyin Olanipekun, appreciated the U.S. government for their prompt intervention to rehabilitate the grove. The monarch added that the community is satisfied with what the grove would look like after their intervention.
If we still want to sustain, we want to maintain, and we still want to let the children come in to know about our culture, our tradition. About the Shoko, we cannot do away, and we cannot but appreciate the fact that the U.S. Embassy, they are doing something to help us rebuild Oshun soil.
Beneficiaries of the U.S. exchange program who were present at the gathering urged the Nigerian government at all tiers to preserve historical sites like the Oshun-Oshogbo Grove to checkmate the fast-growing cultural erosion. Oluwa Tobiloba, Odunuga, Osbc News.
Nigeria, arguably the largest black nation in the world, is blessed with human and natural resources. The country also has rich and enviable cultural heritage known all over the world. What then could have been responsible for the mass exodus of people fleeing the country once considered as the giant of Africa? Today's report of the week examines the causes and effects of brain drain on the development of the country. Oluchi Amuda completes the story.
Migration is a natural phenomenon among humans and animals alike. From time immemorial, human beings have often engaged in movements to places where they could find comfort. People migrate from their country of origin or places of birth to other countries due to reasons which could range from economic, health, social, education, and security, among others. Little wonder why both local and international laws made provisions for immigrants all over the world. Brain drain from Nigeria is the exodus of middle-class and highly skilled Nigerians, which has been occurring in waves since the late 80s to early 90s. This trend was initially restricted to certain professions, particularly the health sector, but has now become free for all with the introduction of visa programs in order to fill workforce gaps in developed nations. The rate at which the citizens massively leave the country in recent times have become a major source of concern to policymakers. According to African Union Revised Policy Framework for Africa and Plan of Action 2018 to 2027, an estimated 70,000 skilled professionals emigrate from Africa each year. According to reports, Nigeria lost over 9,000 medical doctors to the United Kingdom, Canada, and the USA between 2016 and 2018. With a depleting number of medical doctors, Nigeria annually spends between $1.2 billion and $1.6 billion on medical tourism. The brain drain cuts across many sectors and professionals as funds are taken away from the country's economy to boost that of another country, as the best hands are outside the country. Information has it that Nigerian companies spent over $55 billion on foreign professional service in 10 years. On the other hand, the country only received $770.48 million for professionals in the country. The exodus of professionals are not limited to the health sector alone, as the banking sector is also going through shortage of skilled manpower, especially in the area of information and communication technology, ICT. Dr. Yinka Andrews identified reasons such as harsh economic condition of Nigeria, unstable electricity supply, unemployment, insecurity, among others, as some of the reasons the youth are moving out of the country in large numbers.
We are looking at food industry, education, and health to be in us. We just want to travel out.
Youth, including Oluwatobi Bamigbowu, Emmanuel Boluwaji, Peter Ifeanyi, and Raji Idris, who spoke in separate interviews with Osbc News, bemoaned the inability of Nigerian leaders, past and present, to genuinely harness the human and natural resources of the country for the benefits of the citizenry.
There are many opportunities in.
The government is not even trying hard to provide an enabling environment. So, because the government are not providing facilities, enabling environments, what should we do? We should just live and look for a greener.
Your skills will fetch you money. Anything you do, there is money. So our government should try youth, and then the value for money in Nigeria is an issue.
That have gone out of the country, so we are losing a lot. So that's why sometimes you don't blame people who travel out to access health facilities, because the best have even left us. Then look at other professions. We talk about lecturers, about professors, about PhD holders. We have the best in Nigeria. Even when they go outside there, when you compete, you find out that we always soar above others.
He maintained that it is high time Nigerian leaders and followers alike put on their thinking cap to salvage what is left of the country's huge potentials for the benefit of the future generations. Oluchi Amuda.
We now go on commercial break. Major report continues shortly.
Ọ̀gbẹ́ni lálọ́dẹ. Dídé lálọ́ sí lọ. Ọmọ ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ jẹ́ rechargeable fan níbi ìpolongo àjọyọ̀ ayọ̀ Glo ni o. Èèyàn mi ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ jẹ́ sewing machine látọwọ́ Glo ni. Ṣé fẹ́ máa gbọ́ṣẹ́ Glo?
Ẹ wo ẹ̀bùn ńlá tí mo jẹ lọ́wọ́ Glo.
Glo ló ṣe yìí o. Ẹ ṣe.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sájọ̀dún Glo Festival of Joy. Testa 611 Ash láti darapọ̀ mọ́ wọn kó o sì kó nínú àwọn ẹ̀bùn yìí ní ti ayẹyẹ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan nílé ayé ọmọ ìdẹ́yàn. Glo nìkan ló lè ṣe é.
Ọ̀gá landlord, ẹ̀yin náà wọ́n rí gbẹ̀mí náà dé bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin náà lọ recharge Glo.
Ìfilọ́lẹ̀ Glo Festival of Joy.
Segment. The World Cup in Qatar will take place across 8 stadia, with this year's final match coming up at the Lusail iconic stadium, where 2 top teams will be battling it out for the top prize in world football on December 18. Omotayo Adebodun has the details of this and more from the world of sports.
Qatar this weekend, and the 8 stadiums that will be used for the tournament are primed and ready. They are as well eye-catching, at least to say. One of the stadiums is designed like a traditional Middle Eastern woven cap. Another is made up of shipping containers. While they are striking in design, the 8 venues, the viewiest since the 16-team 1978 World Cup in Argentina, pose a logical review to this. Carrill won 8 major honors during his 7 years at Stamford Bridge, including 2 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cups, and the Champions League. He began his career at Aston Villa and also had permanent spell at Bolton, Crystal Palace, and Bournemouth, as well as earning 61 international caps. Carrill played for England at the 2014 and 2018 World Cup, as well as Euro 2016, captaining the side on 5 occasions. He has been a free agent since being released by Bournemouth at the end of last season to grant Mr. Djokovic a visa. Omotayo Adebodun, Osbc News.
I'm moving to the foreign scene. Côte d'Ivoire is set to withdraw its troops serving with the United Nations peacekeeping force in Mali following the detention of 46 of its soldiers by Malian authorities. Sarah Omidole has the rest of this from our foreign desk.
Côte d'Ivoire will be gradually withdrawing its military contingent from the United Nations peacemaking mission in Mali after the continued detention of 46 Ivorian soldiers who have been accused of being mercenaries. In the letter to the UN, Ivorian officials said they would not replace the personnel in MINUSMA when the current group rotates out. It had 857 personnel serving in Mali as of June. Negotiations have stalled over the release of the Ivorian soldiers, who were arrested at the Bamako airport on arrival in July. 3 female soldiers have been released, but others remain in Malian custody. The Ivorian soldiers were sent to Mali to work for Sahelian Aviation Services, a private company contracted by the UN. However, Mali's government said it considered the Ivorians to be mercenaries because they were not directly employed by the UN mission and charged them with undermining state security and the ultimate cruel, inhuman and degrading punishment, and that Kuwait should abolish the death penalty is widespread in the Gulf region, particularly in Iran and Saudi Arabia. In March, Saudi Arabia executed 81 men in a single day, making it the largest non-mass execution carried out in the kingdom's modern history. Kuwait introduced the death penalty in the mid-1960s, and since then has executed dozens of people, mainly those convicted of murder or drug trafficking. Sarah Omindele, OSBC News.
And that ends the media report on OSBC TV. It was edited by Michael Adeniyi. I am Kayode Adebayo. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Afrobeats, the time is now. The hunt for the new Afrobeat superstar begins. From over 4,000 contestants, 17 contestants make it to the main stage. Who will be the chosen one? Expect mesmerizing group performances, breath-catching pair battles, captivating solo performances, and touching eviction. Contestants will face several hurdles in their pursuit to become the next superstar. You will never want to miss the quarrels, the suspicions, the alliance, and Karamadir. You'll see the humanity from different perspectives. And from the dazzling stage, reactions of the judges, you'll see the rising of a superstar. All on the Jazz Carousel. Watch every Sunday at 8 p.m. on ST Nollywood channels, ST Yoruba, and Star Times on app. Exclusive on Star Times.
Star Times. Entertain your family.